Some more wide receiver news. The Rams are open to trading Cooper Kupp.
Yeah.
Obviously, this would have been insane if he ended up with Kansas City. Kansas City didn't want to pay that kind of price. The Rams are looking for, it sounds like, around a second-round pick and might even pay some salary here to get that done. Diana Rossini has been all over the trade rumors on Kupp right now. Matthew, we don't know when Kupp is going to return or if he is going to return for the Rams. The next time we see him could be in a different uniform.
Yeah, it's an interesting one. Like, if you're the Rams, do you try to keep him in bubble wrap because you want to trade him,
Yes.
or do you throw him out there because you're hey, we want to show you just when this guy's out there, he's as good as there is in the NFL. This is why we're asking a second-round pick for this guy and willing to pay some of the salary as well. I sort of think he plays. I think they want because he's been injured, I think teams are going to want to see him healthy. I think it doesn't sound like the trade market is heated up, especially with the Chiefs now off the market. Like, we've got somebody. So we'll see. Two things that are important to note here. The Rams have activated the 21-day practice window for Puka Nacua. And I think it's worth it if you were sitting there, you're like, boy, Jordan Whittington did nothing last week. And I keep hoping that, Tutu Atwell is going to do something to Marcus Robinson. Like, it's worth hanging on to those guys for at least another week or two to see if Kupp does get moved, because certainly we saw what Nacua did when Kupp was out last year. He went nuclear. And there should be, massive target share available if Kupp gets moved. So we sort of just wait and see. There's no real fantasy analysis. Last thing is to wrap up all these trades. I don't know that there's any big takeaway on the Tennessee side of the ball for DeAndre Hopkins. You know what I mean? Like, Treylon Burks is on IR, so you've got you got Calvin Ridley, Tyler Boyd.
Nobody's doing
you got
anything anyway.
Nick Westbrook-Aquino. Like, I don't know that there's
any.
any.
He got a touchdown this year.
He did. I think he's got 2 actually, but it just maybe my guy Chig Okonkwo gets a few more looks, but just the passing game is such a disaster right now for Tennessee. I don't know that there's anyone where you go. I mean, Calvin Ridley's still getting 7 to 9 targets a game. It hadn't done anything with him. So it's
the Cam Akers of wide receivers.
1,000%. Just empty volume.
This was going to happen because you saw Amon-Ra St. Brown got back on track versus the Vikings from the slot. You got Cooper Kupp, slot guy. Here's my prediction. He plays. He has a big game. The over-under in this game Thursday is 48, right? He plays, has a good game. And then he's playing for the Bucks on Sunday.
Ooh.
Then he's playing, so he's going to have 2. He's going to give you double fantasy points. He's going to play for the Rams and the Buccaneers.
That would be amazing. I don't think that's
like
they
NFL,
can, right? I don't think the NFL allows you to play
CBA's
2
gotta
NFL
have
games.
something about that.
Now,
I don't think that's allowed.
I know one year Emmanuel Sanders played an extra game because he got traded.
No bye week.
He had no bye week, so he played the extra game. But this right here,
that would be amazing if that actually happened.
It's just pretty cool to think about. Like, imagine going out one night, getting 8 for 78, a touchdown. 2 days later, you come out, do it again for the Bucks. Like, that'd be.
It would be a great story, but I do think there's some rule that you can only play one NFL game. Oh, but anyway, I'm not a rules expert. I only play one on TV.
Speaking of those Bucks, as we sit here and we're waiting on more and more news with their wide receiver situation, we did hear from Todd Bowles on the status of Mike Evans, who's expected to miss multiple weeks. Take a listen to Coach
He's always a
Bowles.
firecracker, so this will be fun.
Caffeinated Todd Bowles.
At this point, we're probably expecting after the bye week. He tweaked it pretty good when he fell on it on that play, and it's moderate, but it's hurting pretty good right now. So we probably say after the bye week, hopefully. It's the same hamstring, but it's in a different spot than it was before, and it's pretty sore. I don't know what the significance of that is either, but he's going to miss a couple weeks.
Firecracker Todd Bowles, as Matthew said. Just perfection there. So big news there. We got more injuries we're tracking as Mike Evans is expected to miss multiple weeks. Jaden Daniels is dealing with that rib injury. His status is heading towards in doubt against the Bears.
It's trending the wrong way.
They want to be careful with
Bears
him.
are favored in this game. The game's in Washington, and yet the Bears are 2-point favorites.
That should tell you a lot. If Jaden Daniels is playing in that game, I think that's a pick-em or 1.5 towards Commanders.
Exactly.
Yeah, I think so. Chris Olave still dealing with the concussion there. DK Metcalf, we'll have more on his status with that knee injury as we get our practice reports throughout the week here. Deebo Samuel with illness. We talked about that. He had pneumonia. Scary situation. Jacoby Myers with the ankle. Jonathan Taylor with the ankle, but he's trending the right way. David Montgomery with the knee injury. George Kittle with the foot injury. TJ Hawkinson working his way back. We'll keep an eye on his status if he makes his return.
Yeah, I don't think he's 100% roster. I mean, it's like somewhere in the 90s, but it's just worth seeing if somebody
might have got sick of holding him.
Yeah,
it happens.
Yeah,
and
especially in leagues without IR spots and just those
you're
bench
in a crunch.
spots. Yeah.
And some other news, we mentioned this earlier. Jameis Winston is expected to start Sunday against the Ravens, Lawrence. This is good.
Rational coaching.
If you are somehow rostering any Browns receiver, and I am in multiple leagues with Cedric Tillman now, the Ravens' pass defense hasn't been good this year. The Browns should be losing this game. And we're in a 2-quarterback league. Jameis Winston was a commodity.
Sure, he went for big money in our auction. He brings, honestly, he'll be the best quarterback that the Browns have seen this year,
right.
And he makes Cedric Tillman very relevant. I know Cedric Tillman's going to go off against me this week because you're going to start him against me. I know that's
That'd make
gonna
my
happen. I think this is it's very exciting for Njoku and Tillman,
Right.
and maybe he can breathe some life into Jerry Jeudy. But I'm glad to see rational coaching taking over in Cleveland, and Jameis Winston is a viable number 2 quarterback.
How about
a top 20 quarterback the rest of the way, viable in Superflex in 2 quarterback leagues, and a borderline QB1 in the right matchup.
How about this, Matthew? Just the threat of him being able to throw the ball could help Nick Chubb in the second half of the season.
1,000%. You can't
Sean
play
Watson
up.
couldn't do anything through the air.
It was
You
awful.
just
It was
sell
the
out
worst.
against the run.
100%.
So
Yeah.
we'll keep an eye on
I mean,
that
I
one.
still think Jameis Winston is starting quarterback in this league. I think we'll get to see why now.
I agree.
All right.
I agree. It's going to be fun. It's always fun when Jameis is out there.
Oh, yeah, anything could happen.
Yeah.
As we mentioned earlier, because we are true sickos, and we are very excited about the NBA coming to NBC, the League of Assholes is now running a fantasy basketball league, and we are
the League of
revealing
Hoopholes?
for the
The who?
The hoop holes?
Oh!
I was trying to make something work.
I thought you said group hoes.
No, that would
was
be
like,
different.
So with our league, that
different league.
includes, of course, me, Matthew, Lawrence, and Jay, Roto, Pat, Denny, producer
Yeah.
Damian, producer Steven, producer Adam, and backup producer Pete. For the first time,
We have a lot of producers on the show.
yes, it takes a lot, our army, as
Well,
they
no
say.
one wants to do it full time, is what happens. And so we just people
blame them?
it's my day.
My day.
Yeah. I have
Roll
to
out
suck
of
it up.
bed.
Right, exactly.
Throw on sweats.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, let's get this done. We are revealing our fantasy hoops draft order. Let's take
here
a
we
look.
go.
I think we have a duck race.
Duck race.
So here
this
with
is
our names.
There you go. This is like duckrace.com or something like that. You see it there. We haven't seen this yet.
man.
It feels like when they recorded this, they might have wanted to do full screen or something like that because it's not really
If
coming
this
through.
is a race,
Adam's
how
in
come
the
I'm not
lead.
winning?
Now Jay is taking the
Let's
lead.
go. Here we go.
Here
Oh,
goes
Lawrence
Lawrence.
making a
Lawrence from
stretch
behind.
run.
I'm looking like
Oh,
Noah Lyles right
Lawrence
now.
running
Yeah.
away with
Lawrence.
Steven, producer Steven comes
Yeah.
in
I'm about
second
to
as
say.
well.
God, I got to have my stamina.
Steven,
up. I can't
Jay
last.
comes in third. Backup producer Pete is picking fourth. Adam is fifth. I have the sixth pick. I'm very happy about that. I want to be in the middle, not on the end of any runs. Rotopat is seventh. Denny, the mainstream media does not want you to know that Denny is picking eighth. Producer Damian is picking ninth. And Connor, you are at the end on the wraparound at pick 10.
I could be picking first, second, or third. It doesn't matter. We're just
I
gonna,
mean, look, 10-man lead, 10th spot is pretty decent.
Yeah, you're
You know?
fine.
Double
You're
up.
on the clock. Who's it going to be?
Well,
Bronny James?
welcome to the team, Victor Wembanyama.
Oh,
Maybe Jokic, but it's out of them
Mikal
two.
Bridges wasn't in
No,
consideration.
no,
that new
no,
shot.
no, we ain't doing none of that. It's
What
going to be
about,
out of those two guys.
what
Maybe I'll
about
go.
Neek? What about Dominique?
It could be a Hawk. It could be Trae Young. It could be
Trae Young.
I could go Homer.
Yeah, you
know?
should. Hey, it's Matthew Berry from NBCSports.com and RotoWorld.com, and I want to thank you so much for watching whatever it is you just watched, or if nothing else, being too lazy to click out of the autoplay after this video started, after whatever it is you actually wanted to watch finished. But now that you're here, I'd like to take a moment here to ask you respectfully now, okay? I'm asking you respectfully to subscribe to the NFL on NBC YouTube channel. You'll get the latest Roto-World fantasy news headlines, all sorts of great shows, including my own Fantasy Football Happy Hour. So go subscribe now. Again, I'm asking respectfully.